Hello friends, in this video we will study regarding the provisions given in the Act for Composition Levy. The Section 10 of the GST Act make provisions for composition levy. The registered person can opt for composition levy if his aggregate turnover in a preceding financial year does not exceed rupees 50 lakhs. As I have already explained the term aggregate turnover in my previous video. Now we will see when you can opt for composition scheme. Suppose a taxpayer can opt for composition scheme by intimating the proper officer in form GST CMP1 either before the implementation of GST or within 30 days of implementation of GST. Next, any person after implementation of GST wishes to opt for composition scheme, then in such case he has to file form GST REG1 and in that form he has to select the option which asks that whether a person wants to opt for composition scheme. Then in such case he should tick that option and avail the composition scheme. And next, when a person is paying the tax at normal rate and he wishes to opt for composition scheme, then in such case he has to file an application in form GST CMP02. Thus, these were the three types of person who can avail the composition scheme. Now we will see the condition for availing the composition scheme given in subsection 2 of section 10. In order to opt for composition scheme, he has to satisfy the following condition. The person shall not engage in interstate supply of goods or services. As we have seen, interstate supply means place of supply and location of a supply is in different state. So in such case, if a person is involved in interstate supply, then he cannot avail composition scheme. Second, the person shall not engage in supply of goods or services which are not leviable to tax under GST. For example, alcoholic liquor for human consumption. It is out of the purview of GST Act. If any person is engaged in such supply, then he cannot opt for composition scheme. Third, the person is not engaged in supply of services. So, if any person is involved in supply of goods, but is also engaged in supply of services, then in such case he cannot avail composition scheme. Fourth, he is not a manufacturer of goods which are notified by government. Suppose a X good is notified by the government and a person is engaged in manufacture of X goods, then he cannot avail the composition scheme. And fifth, he is not a supplier who is making supply through an electronic commerce operator. As in my earlier video, I have given you example of electronic commerce operator. Say Flipkart. If supplier is supplying goods through Flipkart, then in such case the supplier cannot opt for composition scheme. Apart from this condition, there are few conditions given in the rules relating to composition levy. So, next condition is he cannot be a casual taxable person or a non-resident taxable person. I have explained these terms in my earlier video. So, if a person is a casual taxable person and a non-resident taxable person, he cannot opt for composition scheme. Next condition is if any person as on the appointed date, that is on the implementation of GST, is having stock which is purchased from outside the state or he has imported such goods, then he cannot opt for composition scheme till he clears such goods. This condition is mainly applicable for the person who is registered under the existing tax law and at the time of migration to GST wants to opt for composition scheme. The next condition is the person should not have purchased any goods from unregistered dealer. And suppose he have purchased such goods, then in such case he must have paid tax under reverse charge. As we have already seen, when a person is purchasing goods from an unregistered supplier in GST, then in such case GST Act requires that person to pay tax on reverse charge basis. So for a person opting for composition levy, if he has purchased any goods from an unregistered dealer, then he should have paid tax under reverse charge basis. And if a person having a place of business in multiple states, then if he is opting for composition scheme, he shall obtain composition scheme for all the place of businesses across India. He cannot obtain composition scheme for one state and he can and paying tax at normal rate in another state, because the aggregate turnover has to be determined on pan India basis. Now we will see the quantum of tax to be payable under the composition scheme. Suppose he is a manufacturer of goods other than the notified goods, then in such case he is liable to pay 2% tax, of which 1% will be CGST and 1% will be SGST. Second, if a person is a supplier of services like restaurant service, then he is liable to pay 5% tax, of which 2.5% is CGST and 2.5% is SGST. And in residual category, the person is liable to pay 1% tax. There is 0.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST. Now we will see the validity of composition scheme. The option exercised by the person to opt for composition scheme shall remain to be continued if he satisfies all the conditions mentioned in the section and rules as we have discussed now. Now the person who has enrolled for composition scheme is not allowed to collect any tax from the customer. Secondly, the amount of tax which he has paid on his purchases is not allowed to him as an input tax credit. So in this video we studied about the provision relating to composition levy. Thank you.